there, welcome to another episode of Legends with Elroy. Today I'm excited to tell you another story about Billy Bob the Knight. Now this one starts as Billy Bob was taking a little bath. A splish splash, I was taking a bath all about a Saturday night. A rubber. Someone's at the door. So Billy Bob made his way over to the door, and he opened it, and there before him was Stanley the skunk and Stanley's friend Porky the porcupine. He was not a pig. There's a lot of confusion on that. A lot of people say, Elroy, was he a pig? And I say no, he was a porcupine. But I digress. And Billy Bob said, what are you guys doing here today? And Porky said, Billy Bob, you see, it's that time of year. All the leaves are falling in the forest, and soon it will be very, very cold. However, I need some help cleaning all those leaves up. And, well, that's why I'm here, because I thought maybe you could help me out. How do you like raking? Now, Billy Bob actually thought raking was pretty fun. He didn't get to rake leaves very often because, it only happened about once a year when he would do it on his own property. But he didn't always do it on his own property because sometimes he kind of just let the wind take the leaves. But anyways, he liked doing it, and more than that, he wanted to help his friend Porky out. And Stanley was going to be there helping as well. So they set off to Porky's house, and they started raking leaves. And, like I say, it's actually pretty fun work raking leaves because you just pull all the leaves together, and then you get them in a pile, and then you can burn them. So, you really can't beat that. Also, you can jump in them before you burn them, that is. You don't jump in them while they're burning because that's not good. But anyways, so after a while, Porky went inside, and he decided that he would treat his friends to some wonderful home-baked goods like croissants and scones, as well as some snickerdoodles and other stuff as well. And Billy Bob and Stanley kept working outside, and they had their little song, and it went as something like this. The leaves are falling, doobity-doo. The leaves are falling, doobity-doo. It's the time for fall, and so it's time to rake the leaves. Whoop-a-da-da-bity-doo. It's time to rake the leaves. A-doom-ba-dum-da-bity-doo. Put the rake over there and pull, 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 and dee-dee-dee, a-da-da-da. And then we get them in a pile, and we do-da-da, a-dee-dee-doo. Jump on the pile. And, they had fun singing. Sometimes it's fun to just come up with a song as you go. And that is exactly what they did that day. But the singing actually attracted attention. And some would say it was unwanted, but that could be a little bit drastic. But anyways, suddenly they heard a noise in the sky, and they heard something that was almost like a squawking, like, that didn't come out right. It was like a squawking, take my word for it. And they said, what was that? And out of the sky came a bird. And it landed right in front of them, and it said, oh, hello there. My name is Stephen the Seagull. But my friends call me Steve. Or you can call me Stevie. It doesn't really matter. Either way, I'm a cool guy. I fly. Woo-hoo. Billy Bob was like, this guy is cool. He can fly. And Stanley thought it was really cool too. So they were asking Steve about what it was like to fly when Porky came outside. And Porky was shocked. He was like, how does that guy fly? This is crazy. So he came over and Steve showed him some different tricks he does flying-wise. So Porky decided, man, I wonder if I could fly. So he went in and he got like a big coat that he had, and he jumped off of a tree. He couldn't fly. Thankfully, he was unhurt, but he was a little bit sore. So, it's birds can fly and porcupines can't. Sometimes it's a little confusing. You don't realize those things. But, they can't fly. That's porcupines. But anyways, he was still very impressed with Steve. But then they smelled something burning. And Porky said, "Oh no, that's my food I'm making." So he ran inside, but it was far too late. All the croissants and scones and snickerdoodles had burned. And it was sad. Everybody was pretty sad. That and there had been a stiff breeze that blew all the leaves back into the yard rather than on the pile. So they kind of had to start over with the raking thing. So Porky put all the burnt food and he threw it into the forest. But then all of a sudden he said, "Where's Steve?" Then he looked over in the forest and there was Steve munching on all the food. And Porky was like, "Steve, what are you doing? That stuff is burnt. It is horrible." And Steve said, "This stuff's pretty good." A lot of people say that as seagulls, we're not very picky. And I guess it's true. We're not very picky. Some people say we'll eat anything. And some people are right. But the thing is, this is pretty good. And he ate it and ate it and ate it until he was so full that he just laid on his back. And he fell asleep. And Billy Bob and Porky and Stanley were like, "We can't believe he ate that. That stuff is, well, it was burned." But then he gave them an idea. So the next day, he was asleep for a long time. When Steve woke up, he said, "Oh, how's everybody doing today?" And Billy Bob said, "Well, we're doing great. And, we have a proposition for you. You see, every once in a while, we burn food and different things like that. If we do, we'll go ahead and we'll put a flag out in front of our house so that if you're flying by, you know that you can stop by for a little snack." And Steve said, "Billy Bob, your reputation really does precede you because that is very generous and kind. Plus, I like food. Some people say that it's almost like the food likes me too. But I don't care who likes who. I just like eating. It's so good. I mean, who cares if the food likes me or I like the food? The fact I'm eating the food is the important thing." That's what my great-grandfather used to say. Billy Bob was like, "What was his name?" He was like, "His name was Slingshot." Billy Bob was like, "Oh, that's a pretty cool name. Great-grandpa Slingshot? That's cool." But anyways, so after a while, Steve went on his way, and they finally finished raking all the leaves up and burning them so they couldn't blow in the yard. And then Billy Bob went home, and he thought now is a great time to take some rest. Well, someone's at the door. But that, my friends, is a story for another day. Well, I'll see you all in the next episode of Legends with Elroy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya.